Hey everyone, what's going on? Review on here. We got a ton of news from Mecha BREAK we're going to jump into. Sit tight, relax, get you a drink, and chill with your boy. All right, so first up, they did mention, of course, what we've spoke about before. There's now a recruit mode / veteran mode, and basically, recruit mode is the tutorial where you can play in the game, or you can skip all the tutorial and to go into veteran mode, which is basically the actual game where you can unlock all these suits. Now, the cool thing about unlocking the suits is all 12 starting striker mechs are free. I love it. Absolutely love it. I don't think Inferno, I haven't even counted. I don't think Inferno is included in that. And I also don't think, that strikers after the fact will be free. But just keep in mind, having these 12 strikers are good. I'm glad I don't have to worry about, picking and choosing, competing with people for picks and whatnot. I'm really glad. Now, during the stream, we did catch a few things. We did also catch a glimpse of that Gold Falcon, which was one of those like character-specific packs. We didn't hear any information on that. They kind of closed it kind of quick, but we did get some sneak peeks. They also mentioned that all the systems upon logging into the game or mode types are unlocked: 6v6, 3v3, and Mashmack, free-for-all, and co-op. Now, they also mentioned that they are changing the way the achievement system works. Now, in a sense, the achievement system has points that you can purchase different things to equip on your profile display. It's all cosmetic, only for your profile display. I think it's pretty neat. So you can just accrue some of this currency and just buy different elements to decorate your profile, which this sets up some really neat things. I'm glad this was changed to this way. Now, they did mention some things. A really neat thing they mentioned is a pilot system where you can swap pilots. On the stream, Chris had a male and a female pilot they could swap in between just in case. So if you want to have two different styles, you can. They didn't say if you can have two males, two females, or if it's always just one male and one female. Either way, that's really good because with the addition of many people, editing and changing their character, I really like the fact that you can have at least one more pilot. I mean, the other alternative for me would be able to just save these like presets or your pilots and load them as is. But I think it's pretty cool. It's really neat. If you have been following information, you also now know, which they went over in the stream, mods are only in Mashmack now. Like, they even moved the mods into the Mashmack area of the game, which is, in my opinion, I like it. I know some people don't like it. Some people do. I'm one who likes the mods being a Mashmack because when it comes to like the other modes, especially like ranked, it's just comes down to skill and team coordination. I like that. Now, again, they did mention in Mashmack the progression systems have been moved or removed, and it's kind of different when it comes to configuring your drops, because now anything you bring into Mashmack can now drop upon death. Your weapons no longer require upgrades. Another change that I'm actually excited for now currently, because prior you would go into Mashmack and you would fight people and they'll have like upgraded weapons, and it just feels like you're just getting destroyed by people who've been playing like for weeks before you. Now with this, they also mentioned in Mashmack is now has difficulty settings. Yeah, you heard it, difficulty settings. Mashmack now has normal, hard, and extreme. What is this, you ask? I got you. So normal mode, hard, and extreme are basically different filters of Mashmack. And because of the change to the item system, each item or weapon you equip now has like a gear score, basically, right? Let's use the term gear score or combat readiness. And the more items or equipment you equip before dropping in a Mashmack, the more your overall combat readiness is. Now, normal mode has a cap. I believe it was like a cap of like 2,000 for that. And then these numbers are just changed, so we're just going to use fake numbers. Say normal mode, you have a cap of 2,000 combat readiness. In extreme, you have a cap of like, let's say like 6,000 combat readiness, right? So you can equip these items, these either low-level items, and be okay, or you can equip one big bad boy item and maybe, depending on how strong the item is, sort it in normal or hard. But you get the gist here. They're making it so you don't go in and get bullied by other players constantly, which happened a lot in the playtest to me. A conversation I had with E.G. Magnum, Alice, a whole lot of people where you go in and you just get popped like twice with the one weapon. I was like, man, that's not really fun. So yeah, and it looks like just the way the stream was showcasing stuff in the inventory, looks like instead of like having different weapon levels, some have different rarities. So it might kind of be here adjacent, but I'm still okay with being rarities because you are more likely to encounter those rarities at a higher difficulty. Now, extreme mode, they mentioned the thing with extreme mode is there's no cap. You can have no items go in, or you can have a full-blown crazy arsenal going in, and I like that. I personally like that. I'm totally fine with that because I will sit there and play normal mode and practice and get better, farm a little bit, and then concern myself with going to extreme or hard. To each their own. Now, they did mention really cool stuff that depending on what difficulty you're on, depends on how hard it is. For instance, normal mode will now have 5 extraction points. Extreme will have, I believe, was it 3 extraction points? And then, no, hard will have 3 extraction points, and extreme will only have 2 extractions. So yes, normal has 5 extractions, hard will have 3, and extreme will have 2 extraction points. And these extraction points are how you basically escape the map. And it's very, very important to note that this is really cool. Now, they didn't really go into detail regarding like the AI and stuff, but hopefully this means harder enemies and not just ones with more HP. Now, speaking of which, they did mention that you have a better chance of getting items in harder difficulties. For instance, in normal, if you use a finisher on an enemy, you have a 30% chance for a mod to drop. While in extreme, if you use a finisher on an enemy, you have a 100% chance of a mod to drop. I like stuff like that. It's really cool. You still get a chance to drop regardless what mode you're in. Of course, extreme, you get more stuff. High risk, high reward. GG's, Now, with that, you also see during this, they were showcasing some of the new content. You mentioned a new boss known as Hellcat. Hellcat is the suit or the monstrosity of a cool looking boss that we saw in the release date trailer. It looks super cool. I'm very excited to fight this thing. It's wild. There's a lot of like air fighting and stuff. We didn't get too much information outside of it also being a glider and fighting, but if you peek some stuff, you'll see some really cool things going on. Another Mashmack thing that I also noticed, and they called out, is Illuminate using the Welkin axe. Terrifying, I know. So they have more weapons and arsenals and stuff like that. They also changed the Constantine boss fight in Mashmack, so please look forward to seeing stuff like that. Now, they said essentially items can be crafted, but you need to find parts to craft them. Now, when you go to Mashmack, like I said, you go in with whatever. If you leave with it on you, you take that out with you. I like that. Simple for me, very simple, easy. Gliders are one-time use and they don't have an upgrade. Now, when I say one-time use, I mean if you go in with a glider, you keep it, you extract, you keep the glider. But if you go into the glider, it's destroyed, you lose it. Just like any other weapons or anything like that. It makes sense to me. Again, in my most humble opinion, I don't mind these changes at all. Now, they also mentioned to kind of balance gliders, there will be gliders will have different HP depending on things. For example, like a sniper glider will have less HP than a glider that's geared towards either, like up close melee and stuff like that, which is cool because we know those sniper gliders can suck sometimes. Now, a few changes we saw in the hangar. The boarding bridge can now operate like an elevator and be controlled by the player, so you can take all sorts of cool pictures. Like we saw a photo mode with really cool poses. There's a lot of new rooms like in med bay, and in the future they'll allow you to allow your friends to like come chill, hang out, as well as remodel your base completely. I am excited for that. It's really cool. You can even go under your mech now in the hangar. Super dope for really cool pictures. They now showcase the train that takes you to a place to view your hangar items. So if you have Mashmack items like gliders, weapons, you can actually go in here, see your glider, turn around, look up, and see these weapons. And you can actually color the weapons. Really cool. Super dope. Now, they did mention in the future, you'll be able to use jetpacks around the hangar, and you'll be able to show off and share your hangar with friends. So, super cool. And they did add a lot of interactive content in the hangar. They expressed that, you know, while it's a competitive game, they do have story and lore to tell and share, and they wanted that to be something accessible to people. So there'll be a lot of information you can learn by exploring the hangar and talking to NPCs, which the hangar now has 4 floors. Each floor, of course, has its own mini map, and like one of the floors had like strikers on displays, like their statues. One room I saw very briefly during the stream looked like an arcade room, which they mentioned will be very interactive. So I'm assuming we're gonna get mini games, which would be great. It'd be really, really cool. Again, the team basically wanted to express their worldview and details throughout the game. So exploring the hangar, you'll discover more about the world's lore. They did show off the posing and photo mode, editing mode, and you can actually like adjust your entire skeleton. You can make like your own pose and save it. It's really cool. Or you can just use preset poses. So it's really dope. Speaking of interactive, they mentioned that NPCs have their own plot lines, highly interactive. You can even like, you know, talk to an NPC, and there's like one robot that dance and they want you to dance with it, stuff like that. It's really cool. But that's super quick regarding all of that. Now, the thick, nice, and juicy part. During the stream, they revealed a lot of stuff, and it's just a 1 minute and 30-second teaser trailer, right? We saw probably like 4 to 6 new maps or map variants. We saw a map on the moon or some kind of planet. We saw a map that looks inside where you have like cherry blossoms. There was an underwater map that looks like it adjusts. There's a map like in a volcano region, and it looks really cool. Maybe 3v3 or 6v6. Couldn't really tell. Got really excited. Super cool. There was a lot of new maps. I'm very, very excited. And I'll have the video playing now for you guys so you can enjoy it. And if you have not noticed, there is 2 new strikers coming. We don't know what exactly when, but there's one with the dual wielding striker. It has like 2 katanas and looks super cool. It has like looks to be like a whip or something, and they have little funnels that, oh bro, this looks so cool. And I think they said that was Stellaris. I don't recall the name, but it was really, really cool. They revealed this striker and a new support striker that I think was like Seraphim, something like that. But that striker looked really cool, and during the stream we kind of looked at it a little bit more. It looks to be like it has a rifle, and it has the ability like to call down like orbiting fire, and has like a rope to either pull or like push away from enemies. I'm not sure. We saw other abilities on the HUD, but we didn't really get to like break down into it. But it looks super cool. I'm very excited. And I think the biggest point with this, they mentioned there's going to be a massive showcase June 23rd. So go ahead and mark your calendars. June 23rd, there's going to be a massive showcase showcasing the new strikers, the new content, and all that stuff. And that's just a week or 2 before the actual release. Very excited. Make sure you check out that, again, June 23rd. Very excited. If you're new to the channel or new to Mecha BREAK, hi, I'm Vion. If you want to learn more, make sure to follow, like this video, and all the other videos. We love all sorts of games, mecha games, of course. But yeah, that's all I'm going to do for now. There was a lot. I need to drink some water because I'm really excited. I'm very hype. But in the comments, let me know what your initial thoughts are. Let's discuss. And again, I'm very happy for them to do these changes and have this information because they're listening to the community. And it's very important, if you're not part of their community anywhere, Discord, Reddit, whatever, wherever they check, make sure you become a part so you can give that feedback to make the game that much better. So that's all I have for you. Thank you for listening to your boy yap, but it's been good. Until next time, stay out of trouble and none but love. Peace.